In 1978, technology was very different from what we know today. There were no smartphones, and for most people, the idea of having a computer at home seemed like something out of a science fiction movie. It was at this time that an economics professor named Ravi Batra released a book that, to many, seemed pure madness. He spoke of things that no one believed were possible, but that, for him, were clear as day. At first, no one took the book seriously. For many people, Batra's ideas were so absurd that he ended up being ridiculed. Publishers didn't want to publish the book, so he decided to do it on his own. But 10 years later, something surprising happened. Everything he had predicted began to come true. What once seemed impossible was now happening before everyone's eyes. And suddenly, the book that no one wanted became a bestseller. But who was this Ravi Batra, and why were his ideas so controversial? Ravi was an economics professor from India, a man who saw the world in a different way. He believed that economics, politics, and society were all connected, and that changes that occur in one area always end up affecting the others. In 1978, he made a bold prediction: Soviet communism would collapse before the year 2000, and soon afterward capitalism would face its own crisis. At that time, the Soviet Union was such a strong power that the idea of its collapse seemed ridiculous. No one could imagine a world without the Soviet Union, much less that it would disappear in less than 20 years. But that's exactly what happened. In 1991, Soviet communism collapsed, and what seemed unthinkable became reality. Once again, Ravi Batra was right. It wasn't the only time his predictions came true. In 2008, the world faced one of the biggest economic crises in history, and once again, Batra had predicted it. He believed that the global economy was on an unsustainable path, and that a collapse was inevitable if things continued as they were. And indeed, the collapse came. You must be wondering, how did he manage to predict all of this? Ravi Batra's answer was simple but profound. He believed that everything in life, including the economy, followed natural cycles, and that if you paid attention, you could see the signs before things happened. He also said that nature has a way of correcting imbalances, and that crises were actually opportunities for society to reorganize and improve. Today, when we look at the world, we see that many of the things that Ravi Batra predicted still make sense. Crises continue to happen, and the need for a new global system is more urgent than ever. And perhaps the answer lies in finding a balance between the ideas of the East and the West, something Batra has always advocated. Now, I ask you, how do you see the future? Are we ready for the changes that are coming, or will we continue to insist on a system that has already shown signs of wear? What can we learn from Ravi Batra's lessons to shape a better future? Think about it. Your reflections are important and can make a difference. And please share your thoughts. Every idea counts. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and leave your comment. This helps us continue to bring you relevant content. As you reflect on all of this, think about the impact these predictions have had and continue to have on our lives. We're not just talking about major global events or abstract economic changes. These transformations directly affect our daily lives, the way we live, work, and even how we plan the future. Have you ever found yourself thinking about what the world would be like if we had predicted certain crises? If we had prepared ourselves better, perhaps we would not have gone through so much suffering. Ravi Batra saw these crises as signs that something was deeply wrong, something we needed to fix before it was too late. And therein lies the key point: these crises are not just problems, they are also opportunities. Opportunities to stop, reflect, and decide to change the course of things. It is exactly in these moments of crisis that we are called to act, to make choices that can transform our lives and the world around us. And you know what? This doesn't just apply to economies and governments. It applies to our personal lives too. How many times have you found yourself in a difficult situation where everything seemed to be falling apart? In these moments, we have two options. Either we despair and let things get worse, or we lift our heads, learn from what is happening, and use this as a springboard to something better. Ravi Batra showed us that crises are cyclical, but also that they are temporary. What matters is how you react to them. If you can see beyond the chaos, if you can see the light at the end of the tunnel, then you are on the right path. It is this vision that can guide you to a more prosperous, more balanced, and happier future. And speaking of the future, Batra also believed that it would be led by the East. And not just in the economic sense, but in the spiritual and cultural sense as well. He saw the wisdom of the East, with its emphasis on balance and harmony, as a key to overcoming the challenges we face today. Now, think about how you can apply this to your life. Perhaps it is time to adopt a new look, a new way of thinking and acting. Maybe it's time to connect with this ancient wisdom that so values simplicity, inner peace, and respect for nature. And I'm not talking about big changes, but about small attitudes that, little by little, can transform your reality. Have you ever tried stopping for a moment, taking a deep breath, and thinking about how you can improve your life? Sometimes a small change in the way you approach challenges can make all the difference. And if what's coming is really a new cycle, as Batra predicted, then you have a great opportunity on your hands, the chance to prepare and be ahead, taking advantage of the best this new cycle can bring. So what do you think? Let's think together about ways to prepare for the future. Are we going to use crises as opportunities for growth and renewal? I believe so, and I hope you do too. Thank you so much for staying with me until the end. I really hope these ideas have inspired you and given you new perspectives. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and leave your comment. I really want to know what you think about all of this, and your words are always very welcome. Have you ever stopped to think about how the choices we make today shape our future? It's funny how we often feel powerless in the face of major events in the world, but the truth is that every small decision we make has an impact, not only on our lives, but also on the lives of those around us. Ravi Batra showed us that the world works in cycles. Just as nature goes through different seasons, society also goes through periods of growth, stagnation, and renewal. And just like the seasons, these cycles are inevitable. But here's the most important point: although we can't control the cycles, we can control how we react to them. Think about it with me. When winter comes, you prepare, don't you? Take your coats out of the closet, adjust your house for the cold, and do everything you can to stay comfortable until spring arrives. The same goes for life cycles. When you realize that you are entering a more difficult phase, it is time to prepare, adjust your expectations, and strengthen yourself for what is to come. And that's where true wisdom comes in. Instead of resisting or fearing change, learn to embrace it. See each challenge as an opportunity for growth, each crisis as a chance to reinvent yourself. Ravi Batra believed that after every period of hardship comes a new era of prosperity, and whoever is prepared for this transition will be much stronger. But how do you prepare for this? The answer is simple: start now. Small changes in your daily life can make all the difference. Maybe it's time to reevaluate your priorities. Think about how you spend your time and energy, and make adjustments that put you on the right path to the future you want. And don't forget the power of connections. We are all interconnected, and when you share your ideas and learn from others, you become stronger. The future may seem uncertain, but we don't have to face it alone. We are on this journey together, and every step we take, no matter how small, brings us closer to the world we want to see. Ravi Batra talked a lot about the importance of balance. Balance in the economy, in society, and of course in personal life. Finding this balance can be the key to getting through any crisis with more serenity. And balance starts within you. How are your emotions, your thoughts? Are you paying due attention to what really matters? I invite you to reflect on this. Take a moment out of your day to connect with yourself, to listen to what your heart is saying. Sometimes the answer to our biggest challenges is right in front of us, but we are so busy with everyday worries that we fail to see it. What Ravi Batra left us, in addition to his economic predictions, was a message of hope and action. He showed us that, even in the face of the biggest crises, there is always an opportunity for transformation. And this transformation starts with you, with the choices you make now. What will you choose? Will you let crises shake you, or will you use them as a springboard to something bigger? Remember, the future is in your hands. And I will be here by your side to help you walk this path. Thank you very much for following this journey with me. Every time we talk about these topics, I feel like we are building something valuable together. And this construction is only possible with your participation. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and leave your comment. Your ideas and reflections are what drive us to continue exploring these topics and seeking new perspectives. See you next time, and until then, keep making choices that take you to the future you want. We're in this together.